This is the match of the round from the New Players League for week 6 between Ivan Alfonso at the top of the screen and Will McCarty at the bottom. You can see the points here. Ivan on 40 and Will on 37. So this is a tight one. Whoever wins out of the two formats is probably going to overtake the other person at the top. So lots and lots to play for. It looks like Will's the one that recorded this, so we're seeing his hand. He's on mono black control, it looks like. Blue black at the top of the screen for Ivan. This is a control mirror, so these control mirrors, I generally speed them up a little bit because not a hell of a lot happens. You can see Will's just aggressively digging for a land here. Search for Skanta's going to be filtering for Ivan, so Ivan got a bit of an advantage early there. Demon Lord Belzenlock. Okay, there's the land that he wanted. So he's flipped the Treasure Cove. He's played the Dreadshade now. Dreadshade. Oh, now he didn't counter Dreadshade and then he glimmered, so my guess is he doesn't have an answer to it. Did he find one? No, unless he's going to do the hard way. Two moment of craving to take down the Dreadshade. And here's a Demon Lord. This is a 6/6 Trampler. And finds him in a Ballista as well. Ivan, I'd be curious to see his hand. It looks like he's kept a pretty bad hand, but you can see 6 cards now in the graveyard. Ascanta's getting close to flipping. In comes the Demon Lord, the 6/6. There's no answer on the other side of the board. He'll draw his last card. It's a land. Play a Ballista and pass the turn. In turn, a Gearhulk. It'll flash back a Glimmer, I believe. Yes. So you can see the battle at the bridge there is actually... It's a sorcery speed removal, but it can actually take down indestructible creatures because it makes them -X until the end of the turn. So Gearhulk means that Ascanta's not going to flip because it exiles that Glimmer. Now he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to go up to 7. Josu Vess, I believe, is about 6 to flip. Sorry, not to flip, to kick. Or disallow on the Gearhulk, so we've got a game on our hands here. Will be looking for a Cabal Stronghold here to be able to kick that Josu. And here's the problem child, Scarab God. Vraska's Contempt is a clean answer to it, though. But he's going to get back a Dreadshade. Well, that's going to be a huge problem now because, yeah, you have to do this right. Ballista to shoot and then Fatal Push on the Dreadshade. Although I believe he didn't have to do that because the Dreadshade is a token which would have 0... a 0 mana casting cost, so he could have just Fatal Pushed it. Here's the Demon Lord back again. That's going to get countered by Syncopate. And this is big problems now. Ballista's back on blocking duties. He can actually take this hit if he wants. He doesn't want to. So Ivan down to 13, but an answer required on the other side. He is going to be able to gain life here from Battle at the Bridge. And again, if you're not... I mentioned this in a previous match, you may as well just use all your mana and get some extra life there. Ascanta's going to go looking for a counter spell. It doesn't find one. Glimmer's going to have a go. And it finds a disallow. So top deck territory next turn. He finds a swamp. I think that means he can kick 2, 4, 5. No, he doesn't. So he's going to concede. We're going to game 2. As Ivan gets the game 1, so it means he's momentarily extended his lead. Well, you can see Will's brought in Lost Legacy. I'm not sure what he wants to name there. We'll find out. Dreadshade gets the Essence Scatter. Here's a Gifted Aetherborn, and that's going to get counted as well. So down to 4 cards. Treasure Map's going to be able to scry here at the end of the turn. 2 Lost Legacies. Let's see what he names. Scarab God. Oh, and it resolved. So no Scarab Gods in this match for Ivan. This is going to make it tough for him to win. He still has Gearhulks. Is he going to go again? He is. He's going to go again. Is this one going to resolve? The last one did. This one did as well. Oh, he's going to name Search for Skanta this time. Only 2 in the deck. You can see he's got 1 Gearhulk there. 2 Gearhulks. So Ivan draws 2 cards. 2, 4, 6 lands. I think he doesn't play the Dreadshade there because he's trying to bait out a counterspell, and he did it successfully. He'll get rid of that Gearhulk, it's exiled. But Essence Scatter will take down the Aetherborn. That's a bit pointless taking down that Treasure Cove now because he doesn't have any more treasures to remove. What's he going to name with Lost Legacy? This will be interesting. We'll just check the chat here. Possibly Khan, I'm guessing. Okay, his name's Josu Ves. So 2 Josu Ves are down. And Dreadshade, does this resolve? It does. Treasure Map again. Now the beatdowns start. I would just be swinging that Dreadshade and pumping the hell out of it. Well, he only pumps it to a 4. Now, one option here he might have, I was going to say, was playing around Yohini's expertise, but Bontu's Last Reckoning will do the same thing. Cleans up the board, 2 Dreadshades down. He needs to find a threat. Gifted Aetherborn's not the most powerful threat around, but it does give you some life. But so he's out of Dreadshades. I think he's lost about 3 of them now, and he's got no Josu Ves either. Now, Ballista's a beast if he can find a Cabal Stronghold. That's an aggressive use of Vraska's Contempt. Moment of Craving will not get him the life, but it will remove the... Oh, actually no. Nice play there from Will. Forces a disallow. And no life gain. So one player, Will, is down to 1 card in hand, and that's going to draw him 2 cards. So Ivan's, I was about to say, was down to 1, but he's back up to 2. I would have cycled that Fitted Pools at this stage. Try and find something, particularly when you've lost a number of your threats. Here's another Gifted Aetherborn. That very quickly meets a Fatal Push, and here's a Gearhulk. So he's looking to draw cards here. Targeting the Hieroglyphic Illumination. So now, that's, I believe he's only got 2 Gearhulks in his deck, and they've both been exiled. He doesn't have any Scarab Gods, they're gone as well. So I'm not sure what his win con is. Yeah, just keep that card in hand in case he draws a duress or something, you can bait it out of him. But yeah, so this time he cycles the fetid pulls. I don't see how Ivan is going to win this match. He's run out of threats. Mm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He could have actually played this ballista for 10 for a 5 here, but it's going to be a 4. Regardless, it doesn't matter, it gets disallowed. Here's another treasure map, so this is going to draw him some cards. And some scries, so immediately scries a swamp to the bottom. And his upkeep, swamp to the bottom again. And it draws a swamp anyway, so that would have been 3 straight swamps. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ivan is drawing a ton of cards, but what he's drawing into, I'm not really sure. Scry in the upkeep. Another swamp, 4 straight swamps. A Vraska's Contempt. Duress. Okay, let's see what's going on over here. 6 cards in hand. A ton of removal. He takes a disallow. He's still got a commit memory, which is a counterspell as well. Bontu's Last Reckoning, Vraska's Contempt, Moment of Craving, so he's got plenty of card removal. But this ballista is going to be huge. Dreadshade. So now it's just a case of bleeding out these spells. There's the first one, Commit to Memory. Now this is huge on this board. Uggle's Bloodfast. This is going to. You can see he's at 24 life. He's going to be able to start drawing 2 cards a turn, at least, if not more, because his life total is not under threat. So he's casting this for Aftermath. So he's going to shuffle all the cards back, draw 7, and that's a pretty decent play, except for the fact that his threats have been exiled. But he does get his disallows back, so he might be in the business here for... Yeah, I was going to say, Lost Legacy, I'd name disallow here. Well, it's going to get disallowed, ironically. Vraska's Contempt will exile the Dreadshade. And he cycles a... Yeah, so he's got 2 Field of Ruins, but you can see Will has got another 2 in his hands. There's not enough Field of Ruins on the other side to be able to do this. Okay, here's Mr. Card Advantage. Is there a counterspell? No, he's looking. And it resolves. So he just puts a 1-1, he just wants to start clocking him. Vraska's Contempt will take down the Khan. Cycles his Fetid Pulls now, take down that second Cabal Stronghold. Oh, now he's got a Field of Ruin, so that makes it kind of awkward. He can't play that third Cabal now. Duress is a nice pickup here. That's going to get disallowed. Probably disallows the only card there. So Mastermind's Acquisition, he's going to go looking for a threat. Now, the funny thing of this card is you can actually look outside the game. As there's a Torment of Hailfire that's going to do massive on this board. This is he plays it for 10. Why wouldn't you just... Yeah, this is probably going to win the match. He could have played it bigger. There's no point, leaving fuel in the tank here. Yeah, Nathan Blewett's just jumped in. So we're going to game 3 now. Nathan Blewett was just jumped in to watch and chat as well. quite an involved. You see, he plays the treasure map there instead of Etherborn because he wants to get him while he's tapped out, so to get the card advantage and the screen. And again, he's tapped out, so he's going to have to use a removal spell now. Yeah, interestingly, in the recording of this match, the standard game took up more than half the entire format. So here's Khan. Does he have a counter spell over the other side? He does not, and you can see Ivan's actually missed a land drops, has been missing land drops, so this is a very ominous sign here. He's got to search for a Skunter, he can fix it, but it can't go on all day. He puts a Syncopate in the grave and still can't hit that land drop. Duress is going to be... He didn't take the Duress. Duress would have been huge there. So he's going to try again with the Skunter. He keeps the card this time. What is it? It's the third land. I can only imagine it's the... for Disallow, he's got Disallows in hand. You can see full 7 cards. Okay, here's a Duress. Oh, sorry about that. The Duress was from the Scry. This is going to meet a Disallow. But you can see he's getting the early pressure on. He's got 8... Is lethal on board next turn. I don't think there's any way out of this for Ivan. He needs 2 removal spells. He's going to concede, so Will's going to take Modern. Standard 2 games to 1. We're going to go to Modern. Where it looks like it's Jund. Will on Jund. You can see he plays a Stomping Ground untapped so that he can fire off that bolt. Tarmogoyf down, you would suspect here. Or possibly Grimflayer. Yeah, what did he take? Oh, he took Liliana of the Veil, okay, yep. As here's the 3/4 Goyf. There's no Fatal Push on the other side just yet. So 6 cards in hand. I wonder what he's got going on. He's going to crack a Bloodstained Mire. Shock himself and then play Abrupt Decay, okay. So that'll take down the Tarmogoyf. But, unfortunately for him, there's a follow-up. So what can Ivan find here? He's staring down a 5/6 Goyf. Maelstrom Pulse will get the job done there. But the threats just keep on coming. Liliana of the Veil on the other side would have been nice here. What do you take here? You take Scavenging Ooze, so very defensive play, but the Scavenging Ooze actually enables Grimflayer to become a 4/4. Yes, he's going to draw the land next, so he's actually going to lose that Bloodbraid Elf because he'll draw the land and he's going to cast his Bloodbraid Elf and he's going to cascade past it. So we're going to see that happen here now. Yeah, Colligan's command is not going to work there because you can see the Grimfly is a 4/4. Now it will work. So he can do it in response to the Cascade, or he's found a Liliana, so this is ugly now. And that's actually lethal on board, so Colligan's command, he's going to bolt down the little... Okay, I like that play. You put the Liliana in, so with the Bloodbraid still on the stack, he can bolt the Liliana because he can't activate, but that was still lethal. So game 2, it's a Jund Mirror. What does he take? Probably... He took the Inquisition, so he's protecting his own hand. Nile Spellbomb. That's actually going to turn on the Grimflayer much faster. But you can see again Ivan on the other side, he's down to 3 cards. So yeah, he's going to lose his Liliana here. Because the Stomping Ground, he'll just bolt that away, quick smart. I'm going to draw a card. Tireless Tracker, very nice pickup. I play it in my deck as well. It's an absolute powerhouse once it gets going. It isn't going to have a lot of time to get going though because of the 5/6 Tarmogoyf on the other side. Now is there a removal spell? There is not. So Tireless Tracker can be pumped to a 5/4 next turn. In comes the Goyf. Will down to 8, but here's Bloodbraid. I would have played that Treetop Village after Bloodbraid because if he cascades into a Tireless Tracker, he missed an opportunity, but Goyf is down and 6 power is coming across right now. Lethal on board next turn. Ivan needs a removal spell or it's going to be Will going ahead 2 games. Gets a Liliana, it's going to be forced to minus here. Only 1 card left in hand. Bloodbraid down. What is that last card in hand? He wants to hit a land here, I think. He hits a, yeah, he does. Oh, that's the perfect land to hit. You can Tireless Tracker now. Tireless Tracker. Oh, that's lethal. He's got lethal on board now. Bolt, and it's done. Yep. So a quick 2-0 win for Matt Powell in Modern. We're on to Legacy, where it looks like he's just fired up his Modern deck. There are a few Legacy cards in there. Obviously, him to Turak and Deathrite Shaman and the lands. So we'll see what Ivan's playing here. Turn 1 Deathrite Shaman. Probably the most common play in all of Legacy. But it gets met with a Force of Will on turn 1 by Ivan. And an Ether Vial. So what's in Legacy plays Ether Vial with Force of Will and an island? Probably Merfolk. And that it is, it's a Curse Catcher. So he wastelands the Tiger in response to the cracking of the Verdant Catacombs. But it's not going to really work because he still has the Deathrite Shaman to get him mana. So him to Turak's going to rip 2 of those 3 cards out of his hand here. Unless he wants to go Liliana of the Veil. Him to Turak will counter Legacy and instant and sorceries. So he could have actually played around with the Him to Turak, but he's just going to get rid of it instead. As he vials in is another Curse Catcher. Okay, this is going to leave him empty-handed now. So in response, he's going to vial in a Silver Gill Adept. What's he going to lose? Let's have a look. He loses Master of the Pearl Trident and True Name Nemesis. So 2 huge ones there. No attacks, so he's playing off the top of his deck with a 2-1 and a 1-1. Bloodbraid Elf coming down next turn. Brainstorm will help. So a vial on 1 and a vial on 2. What's he got in hand? Well, one possibility here, yeah, is firing off the Culligan's command, destroying an Ether Vial and making him discard, but he'll probably just Vial in response to that, so I like this play. Just get a creature off the board. Yes, he's going to get a Lord of Atlantis out of the hand. And he sacked the Curse Catcher. That's not going to work because Deathrite can tap for mana. I think he forgot that. So Bloodbraid's pure card advantage here. He'll put the Vial up to 2. You can see Ivan struggling to hit land drops. So now we'll see the Bloodbraid, I believe. He's going to get rid of the Lord first. Another Deathrite Shaman, so what's Bloodbraid going to find for him here? A 5/6 Goyf, that's a nice pickup. So that's a pretty ugly board state for Ivan to deal with now. He's going to violin what? His own Tarmogoyf? Oh no, sorry. The mouse over just covered it. So yeah, he vialed in a the mirror image card. I forget what it's called, targeting the Tarmogoyf to make it a 5/6. So I like that play from Ivan. Very nice play. It's going to die now because when it gets targeted by a spell, it just goes. Phantasmal Image is the card I'm trying to think of. It says a GT, but he's got nothing to equip it to. And Deathrite will just do 2 damage there. He can actually get rid of that Ether Vial now if he wants to. Yeah, Ivan's seen enough, so we're going to go to game 2 of Legacy. As this is becoming very one-sided, this matchup in Will's favour. He's about to. He's 1 win away from picking up a 12-point swing here. Also, a big shout out, thank you to Will. He's one of our top level Patreon supporters, and so we're very grateful for that. He just recently came on board. He obviously been in the new player league. I suspect he's probably new to the group as well. Ether Vial is taken down by Abrupt Decay, so that's a big one. We saw in the last game that Ivan struggled for land drops. He's not going to muck around this time. Fires up the Mutavault. And he's going to wasteland the green source. I think you wasteland the cavern here. Ivan's struggling for mana. Yep, and that's exactly what he does. Mutavault can't... I mean, it can fire itself up, but then it's going to be tapped. But unfortunately for Will, Ivan has straight away found another mana source. Oh, Surgical is going to go after Abrupt Decay here. So it's going to exile all the Abrupt Decays from his deck. 2 of them. Fires up the Mutavault, so that's a kind of a weird play. It means he must have a lot of 3 drops. 3 and 4 drops. And again, he's just going to keep plugging away at that mana. But this game's actually coming to an end, so I'm not really sure what happened here. We're going to see a concession. Him to Turek's going to strip the hand, and I think he's going to have enough.